Thank you for tuning into our podcast. We are coming to you from Chicopee, Massachusetts. I am your host, Carrie, and joining me is Holyoke's very own local historian and creator of the historical tours of Greater Holyoke, Robert Camus. He offers both public and private tours, as well as presentations of the local canal systems, reservoirs, cemeteries, and churches, as well as various parks and streets in Holyoke, South Hadley, and Chicopee, Mass. Now you actually lead these tours and give these presentations yourself, is that correct?
Yes, and this was always visible, especially for those people walking at the second level canal.
And today he'll be talking about the Valley Paper Mill. So tell us of the vast variety of products that the Valley Paper Mill made.
All right, they made a lot of different things. They were trying to catch those medium-grade paper users and the high-grade paper users. They were very much like the Riverside Paper Mill, made a vast variety. So I'm going to tell you some of their great names they use, and this always amazed me. They weren't like other places which made this or that. They made a lot. All right, now I'm going to tell you some of the names of Valley Paper Company Bond 1898, the #1 bond regular list. They made the commercial bond 1898, which is half regular list. And for high-grade papeteries, which is cardboard-based storage system for paper, they made the Valley Library Linen. And for a ledger book, they made a Valley Linen Ledger 1898. Then there's a commercial linen ledger. And the R ledger, which is a #2 based ledger, a French linen, which are made wove and laid, or different ways of bonding the paper together. And they made it in cream and white. And then there's the Old English linen and bond, right, for commercial work. There was a Congress linen and bond for lower grade material. There's the Old Valley Mills 1898 for extra superfine. There's the Valley Paper Company Superfine. They call it as good as it gets. And then there's the Valley Forge Flats for extra fine quality. So they were into dealing out their paper, and they weren't into coloring the paper or putting lines on the paper. They were just into making all these different qualities of paper and selling it out. Others could put on anything else they wanted to, but they were selling. And they were a very old company from 1866. The company was made by David Butterfield, one of the original owners in the area. And along the way, we're going to talk about where they were located, and we're going to talk about production and what the mill is used for now, because it's still there. After almost 170 years, they're still in place. So there's a lot to talk about.
And so where are they located in the point?
Okay, this Valley Paper is located right at where the Old County Bridge, now the Vietnam Veteran Bridge, is. It's in the row of 7 paper mills that used to be there. It's the oldest, and it's the only one left. So the oldest is left. And that makes a lot of sense because they used to make old mills very, very well. And they're located on the second level canal, between that and the Connecticut River. And thus they had a 20-foot drop in their water downwards. They're located on North Canal Street. And it's very easy to look at on my canal tours because you can see them from North Canal Street when we visit the Hadley Paper Mill. And also when we walk up the Gatehouse Road, they're very visible from that road. And they're also visible from the Connecticut River, the banks, and from the Sally side. So it's a very visible company.
Now quickly before we continue with the rest of our interview, just to fill our listeners in, if you want to find out more information or sign up for any of his various tours, you can check out his website at holyokecanaltour.org. And there he has both videos of the various stops along each tour and also past and present photos of the historical sites throughout as well. And if you are interested in setting up a private tour, you can email him directly at bobcat4214, capital B, at yahoo.com. And they're perfect for fun educational outdoor activities for the whole family or for your group parties, especially those special occasions and get-togethers. And they're also good just for getting outdoors for the day. So getting back to our interview, what was production like at the mill?
Okay, production in these paper mills was almost always the same, using the same techniques, and it also was very much similar by the location of machinery. Now this paper mill has a piece that's presented against the canal itself. It used to have the mansard on the roof. It is 3 stories high in the front, 2 stories high towards the back. The railroad comes in the back, so the stock room and storage rooms are towards the back. And towards the front, you would have that 3 stories would have on the top floor what was the material would be taken in there, and you'd have to go and dry out the material, get it ready to be used. And between right and left, there was a big difference. So on the right-hand side, you'd have the engines beating up the paper, and then the drainage down below that. And towards the left, you'd have only storage and finishing. And then the engine rooms would go backwards, perpendicular to the canal and to the river. And there you would have two Fordrinier machines, and they would run off the gears and the wheels of the turbines that were towards the very back. So you'd have the engine room towards the back right. And that was on the first floor. On the second floor, you'd have some of the machine shops, so forth. So it was a very simple place. They made a lot of different runs of papers, and so I would guess they would do it like 1 week you'd make all these different kinds of papers, then next week you'd make a different kind. It's a smaller kind of mill, and it's still pleasant to look at.
So, what is the mill used for now?
And that's why I said that, because it's still being used. And what they do now, it's owned by Meals on Wheels program, and what they do is they put all these meals taken from various places, put the food together into a tray with a 1 cup of milk, and then they have their drivers drive with these meals out across Hampshire and Hampden County, delivering it to people that are older and need to have food brought to them. Maybe they don't get out very much, and they have a need for food. Not that they're poor people, but they just not able to get out and get all their food that they need. So I'm glad that this Valley Paper Mill is still used for great reasons, and it's still a beautiful, well taken care of mill. In the back of it, there's still functional entities like a car repair station. They have gas tanks back there, which I think are owned by Holyoke Gas and Electric. So it's still a well-run use. But best of all, it's one of only 7 of these paper mills in a row that is still there. And I hope it will stay there, because people say, why do they call it Paper City? And the reason why is not visible anymore, but here's one, the Valley Paper, that's why. So thank you for listening to the Valley Paper.
And thank you, Robert, for educating us on your tours. And we want to thank our listeners for tuning in. And you can also tune into a large selection of our other podcasts and much more at his website. Again, that's holyokecanaltour.org. And again, you can email him directly for private tours or to inquire about anything else. His email, bobcat4214, capital B, @yahoo.com. And be sure to keep an eye out for his upcoming 2024 season tours.